Zara, welcome to Alopecia Life.
Thank you so much for having me. It's very
Yeah,
exciting.
I'm really excited to have you here and for what we're going to be talking about. And if you could just introduce yourself to listeners, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I'm Zara. I'm 18 from England. I run a campaign called The Power of None, which is all about bold representation, especially for women and children, within things that shape our everyday life and how we see ourselves. So things like the media, the fashion industry, books, especially children's books, and film and TV shows.
And how did you come to start this interest? I mean, it sounds really powerful.
So I lost my hair just over a year ago, and I decided instead of sitting around and or not letting it happen, but feeling sorry for myself, I might as well do something. And I
Mhm.
realized that I didn't only just use strands of my hair, I lost the representation as well. So I might as well do something with what I see a lack of. So the Power of None was born on the 24th of June 2025. And it just kind of has gone mental from there. We are working on raising awareness of books that do currently show brilliant representation, companies that are really good at showing representation. But also I've been in talks about changing policy here in the United Kingdom, etc. So it's a brilliant thing that started as this little thing to keep myself busy and keep me things do things that's actually turned into this really cool thing.
Sounds awesome. What does it look like to change policy in the UK?
So it's obviously not the easiest thing. So I've met with my local member of parliament. So we're a representative democracy here in the UK. So each of us are represented by someone within parliament. Um, I've met with my MP and we've had discussions about how he can help me. He's speaking to a couple of ministers. I'm not expecting it to go far due to obviously it's not the easiest thing to do. You've got to go lots of different ways, but it's about making a point and making a point to someone that hopefully will make a point to someone else. But he's brilliant because he's started talking to different charities, etc. He's going to send me. So he's been a real big help. Since I met with him though, completely different case. The Equalities Act here in the United Kingdom, which is a bill that makes sure that people are protected if they fit into certain characteristics. Um, they've made female baldness to be classed as a disability after a case that went through the Supreme Court. As it was a very big change that has hit the alopecia community and with lots of different opinions about it, etc. But it protects bald women from harassment because it is classed as a disability.
Mhm. It's a big deal. So I guess in my life, I've heard disability, and it kind of gives me a reaction, right? You're like, is this a disability? Do I want this to be considered a disability? What are your thoughts about that?
I think I can see both sides of people who look at it, and I think I'm very split on it. I think I love the idea that it is giving us this protection from things like we can't be turned away from a job, we can't be
Mhm.
um, given anything less because of how we look, which is brilliant. We are not immune, but we're immune from appearance-based discrimination about losing things.
Mhm.
However, don't necessarily see my boldness as a disability.
Mhm.
Um, I think disability is a very strong word. It's a brilliant word and it's an amazing category of people that make best with what they can. But
Mhm.
it is, I don't know if I would class boldness as a disability. I'd love the fact it gives us the protection. However, it is a big word that has lots of reactions to it.
Mhm.
Um, so I think it's a really hard one. Um, it's brilliant in some ways, but in other ways, it makes you sit and think for a minute.
Mhm. At the same time, do you think that young men and men can be included in this policy change?
100%, 100%. As much as male boldness is obviously more normalized than female boldness, it is a problem that still you can be 18, you can be younger, you can be older, and still losing your hair is a big thing. Whether or not society sees it as a big thing, for you personally, it is a big thing. So I think anything, any change or any representation needs to include everyone. That's the point
Mhm.
of representation. Everyone should be represented no matter who they look like, how old they are, how young they are, how what gender, what anything. it needs representation. So I think that it should as well include obviously bald men. Um, and I think again that goes into the debate of why only bald women, why this, why that, why the other thing.
Hmm. Hmm. What do you kind of see for the future of the Power of None?
I would love to, oh, I don't know, that is such a, I've got so many ideas and so many ways I'd love it to go. Um, I'm currently writing a children's book. I'm just looking for a literacy agent, a publisher currently to get moving. But I'd love to publish a children's book. I think that'd be brilliant. I would love to have workshops and things to go into schools and to teach the younger generations. So the curriculum here has nothing to talk about bald people or any appearance really, and how there's differences within school curriculum. I'd love to be able to do workshops like that because obviously younger generations are the future of the world, the future of what's going on. So
Hmm.
if we educate them, then it is this ongoing impact that is going to be brilliant. I think I'd also love to talk to people, have in-person events would be amazing. I've got so many ideas and so many things I'd love to do, but obviously break it down. I am only 18 and studying at university, and we can go.
Hmm.
I can have so many brilliant ideas, but there's only so much I can do. So I think really, if we're going to go to basics, right now, I would absolutely love to hit 1,000 on my petition. We're at 910 at the moment, and I think hitting 1,000 would be the most achievable, amazing goal that could be set in this time. But I have so many ideas for the future.
Yeah. So as far as the petition's concerned, people in the UK are eligible to sign that, right?
Yeah, it's on change.org. I think it can be anybody, but I'm not sure. That's a very good question. Yeah, so I put it on change.org because originally when I started, I didn't expect policy change or anything like that. So change.org meant that it wasn't on the Parliament website because in the UK you can put petitions on the Parliament website,
Hmm.
which mean that if it gets to a certain amount of numbers, it has to be discussed or has to be talked about. I think anybody can sign. You just need an email address and a postcode or zip code. So I think that means anybody can sign it, which would be brilliant if that is the case.
Yeah, yeah, you're very close to 1,000 too, so that's very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it keeps going, you've got 90 more. I'm like, I know I've got 90 more.
Awesome. Can you tell us how you got to the name of Power of None? How was that significant?
So there's always this old myth or old idea that hair equals power, which hair does equal power, but also does that mean if we lose our hair, we don't have our power? So it's
Hmm.
the power of none, the power of nothing, the power of no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no whatever. But also then over time, I think it's also come to represent the power of none and the power of no representation. It's the power of the underrepresented, the power of nothing, the power of you can't see it, no one. So I think
Hmm.
as much as it started with the idea of hair is power and power should be no matter what, um, it's come also to be this idea of the power of not being able to be seen, the power of lack
Hmm.
of representation.
Yeah. Would you like to share a little bit about your own alopecia story?
Yeah, so I lost my hair when I was 17. It started falling out December 2024. Started with a little 50p size piece just at the back of my head. And then by April 2025, I had about 3 strands at the back of my fringe. So I decided to shave my head. And since then, it goes to the length it is now. Um, but my alopecia is very unique in the way that it will grow to a certain amount and then fall out again. So
Hmm.
I get about 1 to 2 centimeters growth before it will fall out again, and that happens once or twice a week. So the idea of the hair falling out is a constant thing that I'm battling with, which is
Yeah.
difficult in the way of it's not something you'll ever get used to. It doesn't happen once and then you leave it.
Hmm.
Um, so I shave my head twice a week at the moment to keep it manageable, to keep it what I see as neat. But again, it's just personal preference. I had really long hair when I started losing my hair, so it was a big change having hair that went halfway down my chest to having nothing. And
Hmm.
I think it was a big thing to try and combat because I've always had long hair, so I've always put it up in styles, I've always brushed it, and I've always enjoyed doing it. I never wore makeup as a younger teen, so it was a big change to have what I express myself with to disappear,
Hmm.
and to find this new person who wasn't what I'd see in the mirror. And I think losing my eyebrows, because I've got no eyebrows and no head hair, and that's all the hair I've lost. Losing my eyebrows was a big one as well, I think. That was a more recent development,
Hmm.
and they grow again to a little bit before they fall out again. So again, it's, I think, all about the idea of appearance when you're a teenager is a big thing.
Hmm.
It's a big thing that everyone talks about, and everyone sees, oh, what's the latest trend? What's the latest fashion thing? And I think becoming someone that stands out because of their appearance, not by choice, is a big thing to combat when you're trying to do your A levels or your uni
Hmm.
degree. So it was um, very difficult to combat, but I'm happy it happened. I'll never be happy that I've got alopecia. I don't think I'll ever walk around going, yay, alopecia. But I'm happy that it happened in the way that it helped me find myself, either again or for the first time. But also, it gave me this whole new world and a whole new sense of how I look at things. So in that sense, I'd be grateful for it. But yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. I know it's been a relatively short amount of time, so to have you kind of go, this is loss, and then this is what I want to do to help myself. To have that be kind of part of your journey is amazing. It's very quick, and a lot of folks live with this for a long time before they go, okay, now what? Right? I think that, have you met anyone else with alopecia up? I had you met, I guess, because I think probably things have changed since the Power of None has kind of started.
Um, I'd never directly met anybody. I knew of people. There was this gorgeous, gorgeous girl, Chloe, who I love Chloe. She is still a really, really good friend of mine. She's helped me through my journey massive. Who I knew about. She went to college with me. You saw her in the corridor, etc. But I'd never directly met anybody until I lost my own hair. And I
Hmm.
reached out to Chloe at the very start of my journey, and she was brilliant. She sat down with me. She spoke through what I was feeling, and I was like, this is the first time someone is telling me things that I've been trying to put into words.
Mm.
Um, but obviously, since losing it, since starting Paranana, I've met some brilliant people. Obviously, Chloe, Alopecia UK, which is the main charity here,
Hmm.
run loads of events. I went to a couple of weeks ago. Their event at Alton Towers, which is a theme park,
Right.
where there was 200 and something of us. And it
Hmm.
was amazing to be in this community where everybody understood what everyone was going through. And for
Right.
once, you were the majority, you weren't the minority, which was a lovely feeling. And I've met
Hmm.
some gorgeous girls there. I met a lovely girl named Gwen as well, who have been brilliant supports. They've had it longer than I have, and it's quite nice to have people who've had it for a while to then turn around and go, yeah, but don't panic. Like
Hmm.
you've got this kind of thing, which is lovely. Um, but yeah,
It is very powerful to have people in the space who have kind of come before you. The power of community is huge, and just meeting even one person who has it can help your journey in just exponential ways. I've
yeah.
discovered that myself. Yeah. Yeah. And what's your area of study right now at uni?
So I'm studying history and politics currently,
Okay.
which is very exciting, very relevant, which necessarily
Hmm.
isn't always a good thing, but it's lovely to see what I'm studying in the real world.
Yeah, I think that that can be amazing. I can imagine it just being, oh, well, this is what I'm going to do these projects on. I mean, it just makes so much sense and did kind of fall into place for sure. Do you think you would have been in policy from if this didn't happen to you? Do you feel like that would be kind of a direction you
I
would
think
go?
I definitely would be in politics. So I obviously my A levels, I was halfway through my A levels, my hair fell out, and I was already doing history A level and politics A level. I've
Mm,
always had a love for it. But I think with the changes that happened, the love got stronger, but also changed in the way that I was like, well, actually, I can make by being involved in this and by wanting to go into this, I can make change for people like me, for myself, but also
hmm.
for the not necessarily like me in the sense of alopecia, but like me in the fact that they don't feel represented, the
Hmm.
minority. So I think losing my hair and being thrown into the world of the power of none just kind of made my love stronger for it.
Hmm. Hmm. Love that. Did you feel like you had a pretty supportive, like, inner circle, I guess, right when you were diagnosed?
Yeah. So My parents have been amazing. So I live at home with well, I live at uni, but at home I've got my parents and my brother, and I think they were brilliant throughout all of it. But also my friends, I went through this change of having this long hair to having nothing, and my two best mates were brilliant in that, and they saw me at every stage.
Hmm.
Um, my best friend at uni, they will, to this day, if I can't manage it, they'll put me up off the bathroom floor. They'll shave my own head if I can't manage it. They are brilliant in the sense of they've seen me at every level. And actually sit here now, and there's only very few people that have seen me with hair and without hair. Like all my uni friends obviously know
Hmm.
me with no hair, but back home I've got my parents, my grandparents who are amazing. My grandma shaved my head for the first time. She was the one who did it. She'd always been my hairdresser, so she was determined that she was going to do it.
Hmm.
And I can't imagine how hard that would have been for her as well as me. So I think my inner circle have been brilliant. They've kept the normalish. They've been there when I've had a bad thing. They've embraced my new headscarf obsession. Uh, they've just been a solid rock the whole way through, which has just been brilliant.
Hmm. Do you feel like there's any other pivotal points that have helped you through this?
I think Jasmine winning the Great British Bake Off was a
Hmm.
big thing.
Hmm.
I was working the final night and I couldn't see it live, and I got out of work and it would be already going for an hour. So I was sat on the bus coming home from work watching it on my phone, and I just about got into my dorm room as she won, and I just remember breaking down in tears sat on my bed because it's such a big moment.
Hmm.
And having winning Great British Bake Off is this moment where you're thrown into the spotlight. It's a national treasure of a show that
Hmm.
everyone knows about Bake Off, and the winner is known. So having someone put into that position that most people know having alopecia is amazing. And I think it was such, and the way she spoke about it on the show and the way that she's composed herself and taken herself forward with it as well is amazing. It's brilliant. And that I think that was a really pivotal point as well. I think
Hmm.
seeing her do it is just anything we wish for. That is
Hmm.
representation. The representation
Right.
wasn't focused on the fact that she had no hair. It was focused that she was
Right.
brilliant, brilliant at baking.
Hmm.
And having her there was amazing. I think another pivotal point would be it was earlier than Jasmine Bake Off was my last year of college. I worked in a primary school. So is your ages, so your kindergarten to or whatever year six here is there,
Hmm.
so about at
Right.
11.
Hmm.
Um, and I worked with a group of kids in their after school club, and going in from leaving before the Easter break with hair and coming back with no hair.
Hmm.
I had never been more scared to walk into a room in my life. I walked into
Hmm.
college and that didn't scare me as much as walking into that room with children, because I think you're always worried how people perceive you, and children are very honest.
Hmm.
Um, but do you know what? They were just curious, and I think having them just know things and want to know what's going on, having a reminder and having them just knowing and asking questions was so nice, because
Hmm.
it was they were just curious. They wanted to know what happened. I got some brilliant questions I've been asked a couple times by children is if I wanted to be a boy, which I think is a very interesting outlook from a very
Hmm.
young and innocent eyes of
Right.
also shows you the way that society has given things to children. The fact that
Hmm.
automatically being bold or automatically having short hair, they've assumed I'm going to be a boy. And I think I've had two or three children who don't know each other ask me that question, which I think is a very interesting question to answer. But I think
Hmm.
having them just being curious and not really caring, but also then going on to be like, oh, actually, it doesn't matter what you look like because Zara's bold or Zara's got no hair, is such a lovely thing that's gone, actually, I've made an impact by as much as I've been scared
Hmm.
to do this. I've made them go, oh, wait, hang on, doesn't really matter. And I just hope that my gorgeous kids will go forward and go forward in life. And if they see someone go, oh, it's okay, Zara was bold. Or, oh, do you know, I knew Zara. Zara was lovely. And
Hmm.
I hope that was a really good point for me that kind of went, do you know what? I don't get perceived really any differently.
Yeah.
I think I'm making things up the worst bee in my head, which was,
Abs-
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. I think that, like you said, when you we're talking to this younger generation, they're going to be the ones who are spreading this, just by example. And when you can see representation of difference of all kind, then children they have such capacity, right? To love, to care, to not care, I guess is another thing. They just are like, oh, people look this way, people are this way, and we're really accepting of that. And I think we often don't give children enough credit for that. And so by you sharing openly, that's made a significant difference. I can guarantee
Yeah.
you without even knowing. But yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think also it links really well back to that children believe or see people how they are taught. So, which again links back to representation, especially within children's
Hmm.
books and children's TV shows. You are, if you see a bold person within children's TV, they are normally bold. Or if they're bold, they're going to be a villain.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
look at Lex Luthor, for example, uh, and it's, I think the idea that not intentionally, but being bold has been villainized,
Yeah.
um, is something that, again, children see the world how they are shown the world. So through books, through movies, through TV shows, through it have such a power. Which again, if you have positive representation, you're going to have children are going to have this positive outlook and positive look at the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for people to be able to connect with you on social media. How can they do it when they're looking for you?
So I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, and I'm on Facebook under Power of None campaign. So at the Power of None campaign. My Instagram is probably the easiest place to find me. I post the most on there. So literally all lowercase at the Power of None campaign. Same on Facebook, same on Twitter. Well, X.
Fantastic. I know. Is there, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we go today?
I think it would just be that if you are going through an alopecia diagnosis or anything hard, that it gets better and there is something that is out there for you. And as much as it will feel awful, life doesn't end and there is a way to go, there is a way up.
Mhm.
Um, and I think knowing that there is people around you and there will always be community going through what you're going through is really good, and just keep going, keep pushing.
Yeah, love that. Right. Thank you so much for being with us, Zara. And we
Thank
will
you for
have,
having me.
yeah, we'll have all of those links in the show notes for folks to find you. And this has been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Uh,